Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card, Libra, you have is number 8 and it says power. Below on the left, there is a glide for the moon. And on the right bottom side, there is a glide for Scorpio. So this is the energy of moon transiting through the sign of Scorpio, which is, of course, the eighth house. Libra, you are the 7th house. So energies of your neighboring house is playing out for you. Below here, it asks, how can you turn emotional depth into wisdom and empowerment without losing your balance in power struggles? So there could be some power struggle which is going on around you, Libras. Now, the moon in Scorpio energy, moon is not in a comfortable position in Scorpio, right? So because of that, the person is not able to express themselves like in a free way. They keep their they keep their emotions pent up, bottled up, but then it gets released in a very extreme way. It's like a volcanic reaction to things, right? When we keep penting up our emotions, our grudges for way too long, and then one day somebody says something, it triggers us, and then there's an outburst. So be careful of these kind of outbursts, Libra. Now, moon, Scorpio is fixed water sign. There's a lot of depth to it, a lot of depth, like D-E-P-T-H. Sometimes, I don't say words correctly, but depth, the D-E-P-T-H. So you might be feeling a little bit sensitive. So be mindful of your emotions. Something could stir it up. You could feel a little bit restless emotionally. So be careful of that. But the upside of this is, Libra, that you actually can use the sensitivity and the psychic emotions or feeling. You could be like feeling a lot psychic. You might be picking up energies or about people around you. You could use this as a healer, as a counselor, by picking up what people, or by reading between the lines. Some of you actually might be in that profession or learning something about it where you're helping people, helping uplift people from difficult situations. But this oversensitivity could cause, to stir up or say things that you could regret later because, it somehow, it gives me, the image that I'm getting is people are quarreling for no reason, and they kind of move away from each other for no reason and later on regret those actions. So be mindful, like if something's triggering you, be gentle with yourself and people around you, because it could cause some kind of outburst which could lead to people going their own ways or feeling bad or holding grudges later on. So be mindful of those energies. And whenever possible, try to take the middle ground, because sometimes in the middle of these, fireworks, these emotional fireworks, we tend to swing from extremes, like, too much passion, or either we go all in or we go all out. Either we are loving on somebody or just hating on somebody, right? Or we are just so about a project when it comes to a project or a work, we're so enthusiastic one moment, and the other moment we're like, we don't care about it or we're not interested. This energy could cause, these kind of extreme emotions or feelings. Because, moon is also illumination of the emotional depths. So something which is brewing inside of you also could just come out in the spur of a moment with this kind of power dynamics that could be going on. Doesn't have to be for all of you, but in case you feel that something like this is going on, just be mindful. It's the energies that are playing out. So be mindful of what you say, what your words, because there is a strong chance that things that were not meant to be said, some secrets get opened up or shared between people that it's not meant to be. This is also, it's like it doesn't have to be personal secrets. It also could be at a global scale, like, the whistleblowing scandals that, information comes out and then, things get reshaped and structures get recreated after that. It's that kind of a vibe. For some of you, this would also be like family, information gets revealed to you, something that you were not aware of. And, sometimes this information, which is very vital, I don't know, it gets boxed. And then, at these energies, when they play out in these transits, it gets opened up to the next generation. It allows them to heal certain parts of themselves, or some kind of a generational what do you call a generational tradition or a pattern, something like that gets changed up, or you learn up more about it. That could be for some of you. This is also a time where power struggles, they end, like the not power struggles, I would say the power control, it kind of changes shape, it changes reality, like I just mentioned, like whistleblowing scandals when people need to step down, so and new people come to power. So it's that kind of like a release of any control happens during this transit. Now, for some of you, if you look in the picture, there is a person out here, there's a lady who's just dreaming, right? She's dreaming. So some of you could be, getting some important dreams or messages in your dreams. So be mindful of that as well. If you see in the arch, the sun and moon energies are coming together here. So these are energies of intuition, and which is moon, and sun, which is your soul purpose, coming together. So it's about something that you figure out, a truth that lies deep beneath. It's your personal truth, your inner truth. You once you discover that, once you figure that out, then you take the appropriate actions to align your life with that truth. It's that. So some of you might be changing up your professions based on what you figure out, like what you feel. If you feel that your job is not aligned with your inner calling or your inner truth, you might see some shifts in that area as well. Now, if you see the background, there are also black mountains on it. The mountains also speak about challenging times, where it also speaks of the goals that you have set for yourself, your ambitions. So it could be that you are trying, whatever ambition you have, whatever goals you have set for yourself, you might be feeling that it's a little bit challenging at this point in time. But even with these energies playing out to your Libra, it gives you a chance to get the clarity that you need. It's like learning about your fears and then overcoming it so that you feel grounded and at peace. And for some of you, this could be, an interest in the cosmic subjects, like maybe astrology or astronomy, astrology. Also, you might be reading up things that you are unaware of, that seem like a mystery to you. You might be exploring some music or art in relation to that as well. Or some of you could be just about into psychology, counseling, or this could even be like some kind of past life regression that's becoming very popular. So some of you might be interested in that or learning about that as well. But this is a really positive time, I would say, because once we figure out, things that are beneath the surface, then we align our actions, whether it's in relations or our projects or careers, whatever that is, we move forward with more honesty. The next card you have, Libra, is the prayer, and it's number 45. So the number 4, 5, and 9 are coming too strong with this message. My father says the prayer is a reminder that sometimes your deepest balance doesn't come from logic or compromise, but from surrendering the question to the universe and trusting the answer that arises. Oh wait, so Libra, it's a very important, it's even backed by science, like, the intention we set and the way we connect to the cosmos through prayers, through meditation, through sitting in silence or retreats, whatever is your method of connecting with the cosmos, with the universe, with your angels and guides. when we put that intention, as a prayer, not only does it balance our body internally, like our vitals and blood pressure and stress levels, they go down. And it has been scientifically proved. Actually, you can refer to some Harvard studies that I have read about this. So this intentional connection, the prayer, it helps us to heal better. It helps us to elevate our vibration. And through that, it changes our aura that surrounds us. It charges the air that surrounds us. And when we do it as a collective, together, when people come together in different parts of the world, or in the family, or in the community, when we pray together, and some of you could be actually coming together as a community and praying, and that could be for different reasons. It could be, praying for a change in some practices, change for some something in the society, some change, some law, some rule. And some, so when we pray as a collective, and you see in the picture, there is this hand which is rising upwards, right? So if you can tell, if you can see the picture, it speaks of an energy of surrendering to the universe, to the will, to the will of the universe, it's like establishing a connection between ourselves, our soul, and the cosmos and the universe, right? That bridge that we establish is done through this prayer that rises up with intention, with focus, with now a heartfelt intention, I would say. Because when we pray, we want to align ourselves with the higher purpose, with the higher vision that the blueprint. We want to align ourselves with the blueprint that we have been born with. And when we seek this guidance, and when we invite this guidance into our life, it helps us to make the decisions, to ground ourselves, to give the clarity, to be hopeful of possibilities of miracles. So this is that energy when you or a collective, you're sending your intentions, your message to the universe that we are open to divine guidance. You want clarity, you're open to clarity, you're open to receiving in ways that the universe provides and sends. And, it has been said that if the right intention and focus is infused in this act of prayer, it becomes way more amplified. Because now it's coming from your heart and soul. It's not coming from a pressure or something. Nobody's asking you to do this. If it's coming from your own internal heart and desires, then it has more power. It has more chances of being heard. So I do feel that right now, I feel for you, Libras, this is about aligning yourself with your inner truth, your inner compass, right? No matter what people or society is telling you, you want to be aligned with your purpose, your inner voice. It's like a moment, like, so for example, like you want to make a career change. Now, you're analyzing a lot of things, the pros and cons, like each one of us does, especially when, when you're in turning points and crossroads and trying to make decisions. And then we pray for clarity, we pray for ideas, for downloads, for messages through synchronicities, or in our dream space, or in any ways. So when we surrender to this act of praying and asking for divine guidance, then we definitely get guided towards the choice that is right for us, that's meant to bring happiness and peace into our lives, versus something that we were, maybe you would have chosen because somebody else wanted us, or maybe there was higher pay, but it wouldn't make us happy. But now that we prayed, we get the guidance that follow your heart, follow what makes you happy, follow what makes you peaceful, and you choose accordingly. So these are the ways in which our prayers get answered. And the power of the collective prayer, especially when done with intention, remember during the pandemic times, the communities, across continents, across countries, they came together because they wanted to, pray for the normal times, pray for solutions to this pandemic era. and prayers were answered sooner or later. I mean, it takes time for these energies to play out, for prayers to be answered, and they were answered. Things they were slowly but surely coming back to a normal state. It's a different normal state than it was before, but things were changing. So with this collective prayer, we not only have the capability to shift our own trajectories, our own life, but also collectively we can bring about a lot of change, inspire a lot of change. We can uplift people. We can shift the aura, shift the morale of people. It's called spiritual activism, where when we pray together, like could be for the earth, could be for any place that has been through any environmental shifts or calamities that, that are unpredictable and things like that. When we pray for the autumn, you could be doing some rituals for the earth or moon rituals and things like that. And that has the potential and the possibility to change things at a global level. So it's like a spiritual activism. The next card you have, Libra, is the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this is a minor arcana of Pentacles. It's the Earth suit, Taurus, Libra, and Capricorn are the earth elements. Now, Eight of Pentacles here, it says, you don't need to rush. Every brush stroke, every attempt, every repetition is a prayer of becoming. And that's what this exactly is. See, there is a pentacle here. It's a pentacle suit, right? It's an earthy suit. But the pentacle itself is, itself represents a balancing of those five elements that we have, earth, fire, water, and air. Earth, fire, water, air, and spirit. So here, you are working on something, Libra. You are, you're practicing, you're honing in your skills. You could be working as interns in some company might have joined as interns. You're trying to learn the craft. You're working hard at it. You're taking your job seriously. And, when we do something day in, day out, of course, we get mastery at it someday. So you are in the process of almost there. You've been working at it for some time now, and you're refining your craft, your skills. You've been patient about it. That's the key thing about the Eight of Pentacles, right? You've been really at it for some time. You've been disciplined about it. And we don't have to be like, there's nothing called as perfect, right? It's just that I feel there's nothing called as perfect. There is something called as excellent, which is our extraordinary, or something which is brilliant. You might be improvising things. You might be, it's like when we learn and grow and apply, it's that thing, like we've learned something, we apply it. Now we make mistakes and then we grow from that. So you could be into crafts that you're learning through making mistakes. But this is also an answer to your prayers. You had the prayer card, right, just before this. So, and even the dreams card. So I feel that your prayers in your dreams can be accomplished by this practice, by putting yourself out there, by being disciplined with whatever you are doing. Not taking shortcuts. Some of you could be actually into these crafts. There's a lot of artisan vibes that's coming through this. You might be into creating something with woodwork. There's a hammer that this person has. You might be into anything, any craft, It could be that you are taking to trade school even, like craft school or trade school, woodwork or something like that, because these pentagrams, they look like woodwork to me. So you could be into that. You could be... you could be learning some kind of crafts. There is a lot of focus on certifications and workshops, side hustles, where we can actually make those mistakes and learn, right? So you could be into that. But this is also doing something as a meditative practice, something. I'm getting, there's this fire in the background of this person where this person is seated. You could be into some barbecues, having restaurants or doing barbecues and getting perfect at it, or learning some cooking craft. I'm getting perfect at it, Even, earlier times there was no food trucks. There was, I don't recall when this thing started, but there was nothing called as food trucks. Suddenly it picks up speed, and we see a lot of food truck entrepreneurs, right? And they're so dedicated. So some of them go to hold more trucks, or some of them even open restaurants. So something small that they start with, because the love and the joy of creating food and, of sharing it with the communities, it ends up becoming something which is the sustainable career even for them. They go to schools, they learn more, they apply more menu items, and then they kind of keep adding at their menu items, especially in all smaller restaurants. And then they grow and then scale bigger into bigger restaurants. So it's that kind of a vibe that I'm picking on. And with mastery, of course, it comes like, its own challenges. We have to be dedicated. We have to go through the grind. Of course, it's not easy. And they say, like if you do something, a hobby or activity for 50 days or 60 days or something like that, you actually turn it into something really brilliant, and that craft is for you and you are made for that craft. It's like a self, confirmation that, yeah, this is the craft that I want to be a part of, for a long time, if not forever, at least for the next few years. So I do see the dedication in you right now, Libra. And I also see that you are this is a very nature kind of an energy. So you might be into sustainable foods and crafts, or maybe you're into pottery or, some kind of design like that. But it's a good thing because you're able to keep putting in the work. You're able to stay persistent. And I feel that this is going to be something really meaningful to you and the community. And I feel that you're going to get better at it. You're going to improvise and people are going to appreciate you, appreciate what you bring, to the world. So keep doing what you're doing, because I feel that you are, you're neck deep into it and you're happy about what you're doing. You're happy to see the results it's producing, right? And that's a self-confirmation. That's a confirmation itself to keep going forward. So this would also be in your relations, whether social relationships or your people at work or in your home or community. It's like when we put in the work, the bonds that we share with so many people, they could actually, turn into sacred bonds, when we start putting in the work. That's when things start to grow. And this is what the card is about. This energy is about growth. Because you will be disciplined and you persist with this craft or the job that you are, and could be any job, that's when you will create the growth for you. And the last card for today, Libra, you have is to learn without expectation is to be in heaven. Release control. Make peace with loved ones. You don't always need to control the outcome. Peace comes when you release the grip and allow love to flow. So, Libra, this is like, don't overanalyze things or don't go against your own wishes and desires just to, people please. It's like doing things that, that are true to you, that come from your heart space. Especially when it comes to the relationships that we deal with, so many are at our office and our community, people at home, everywhere. So when when we're compassionate, especially when we're talking, communicating in times of disagreements, or when people are not on the same page, when we're compassionate, and we, bring that compassion and love into this conversation, then it kind of releases our desire to have an upper hand or to win the argument. And that's where our true happiness lies, right? When we just surrender to the divine, to just, have things take their own course. When we have forgiveness in our heart for people and compassion as well. And trust the process, trust that things are working out just the way, it's meant to be. Things are unfolding just the way it's meant to be. So this is a really positive time for coming together with people, having, going together on lunches or on happy hours, or just, expressing your thanks or appreciation for them, for their time. And also about, just making peace with people around you and, letting go of any bygones, misunderstandings, let it go. And just allow, give people the grace, give people some grace, because they could be having their own things to deal with. So when we give people praise, it gives, them an opportunity to collaborate with us rather than compete or argue or disagree with us. Because, or from what I have heard is, when we try to control things, right, that is linked to our ego. But when we try to make peace, that's linked to our soul. And when we release that control, it doesn't make us weak by any means. It just means that we trust in the process. We trust the divine guidance, the divine order. So Libra, these being general messages, will play out differently in your lives. Let me know how these play out in yours or the environment around you. I hope you enjoyed your messages. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.